Good evening, class. We will be discussing Chapter 23 on managing a holistic marketing organization for the long run. We will be covering in this chapter what are important trends in marketing practices, what are the keys to effective internal marketing, how can companies be socially responsible marketers, what tools are available to help companies monitor and improve their marketing activities, and what do marketers need to do to succeed in the future?
Hi, my name is Will Little, and I'll be talking about the trends in marketing practices, looking at marketing shifts and internal marketing, company departments. All this will cover the holistic marketing. Holistic marketing considers business and all of its parts as one single entity and sheds light on the purpose to every activity and person related to that business. Why holistic marketing requires shifts. Today, social media is at the fingertips of everybody. So it's easy to influence and get people's attention right away. So, with that being the case, it is now more than ever important for companies to be able to shift and adapt to the change in time and environments. So, a few things that we'll cover is the new developments in communication technology. Technology has come a long way over the years, from communication to transportation and even gadgets. Everything has been advanced, and everything is now more accessible for people and easier to use, and things can happen for people a whole lot faster. We'll talk about globalization. Globalization is a synergistic term combining the promotion and selling of goods and services in an increasingly interdependent and integrated global economy. Deregulation, the reduction or elimination of government power in a particular industry, usually enacted to create more competition within the industry. This is really seen in those industries where there's a good profit to be gained. A lot of people are looking for a way in, and deregulation is one of those things that kind of helps people come in. Another big thing is also the consumer empowerment, providing consumers with options, tools, and resources to facilitate decisions, um, decision making, and allowing the customers to tailor a product or brand experience to suit their own specific needs and desires. That's key because everybody is looking for something that fits them and who they are, and so it's always important and imperative to make sure that whatever your product is, it does fit the consumer. There's also environmental concerns. These consist of all activities designed to generate and facilitate any exchanges intended to satisfy human needs or wants, such as the satisfaction of these needs and wants occurs with minimum detrimental impact on the natural environment. So, pretty much just making sure that everything's clean, going green for the most part. Then there's market fragmentation. This is the concept that all markets are diverse and composed of different segments, reflecting different needs, wants, responses to marketing messages, and behavior. So there are 15 different shifts in marketing practices. I'm going to talk about the five different ones that I think are most important. But before I do that, I am going to give the list of the 15. There's re-engineering, there's outsourcing, there's benchmarking, supplier partnering, customer partnering, merging, globalization, globalizing, flattening, focusing, justifying, accelerating, empowering, broadening, monitoring, and uncovering. Now, out of all those 15, I decided that there were five, in my opinion, that really stand out. The first one is mergers. Mergers are acquiring or merging with firms in the same or complementary industries to gain economies of scale and scope. That's really big that we've seen over the last few years. One with Amazon and Whole Foods. Amazon has definitely been growing in the industry, and they have definitely been trying to buy up other people or merge with other people in order to kind of help expand their brand and their their brand in itself. They're definitely a household name, and everybody pretty much knows Amazon at this point. And Amazon is just they're steadily gaining ground every year. So that's one of the big things that I think everyone should pay attention to, especially in this marketing industry. Reengineering is appointing teams to manage customer value building processes and break down walls between departments. I think this is key too because in some companies, each department is segregated kind of sort of from the others, and they kind of just work on what they need to work on, not necessarily working as a team to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So I think this is really big too when it comes to that holistic marketing organization itself, is making sure that all the departments are playing their part and they're all on one accord when it comes to building the processes to make the company or to make the brand better than where it's at right now. The next one is monitoring. Monitoring is tracking what is said online and elsewhere and studying customers, competitors, and others to improve business practices. I think this is really big because as you grow in the industry, you have to make sure you're tracking what's going on. You're seeing who's saying what about you, what customers are saying, how they're feeling about everything that's going on with your products, and even looking at your competitors, because at the end of the day, your competitors are what's keeping you from gaining all the customers. So you want to try to stay on top of your competitors, see what they're offering and what you're not offering, or seeing how they're offering something to see if you can try to match that if it's working for them. But making sure that you're studying your customers and competitors to help improve the business is another big thing in my opinion. There's also an uncovering. I decided to go with as well. And uncovering is using data mining and other analytical methods to develop deep insights into customers and how they behave. So with uncovering, you're really you're gathering all of the digital footprints from everyone out there. Like I said earlier, everything's at your fingertips, and because everything is at your fingertips, everything is so accessible not only for the consumer but also for the companies that are out there who are paying for everyone's data. And whether or not you know it, you're signing up to have your data sold to other people because you are agreeing to whatever those terms are when you sign up for any apps or when you log onto websites, your internet browser, everything is being tracked. And those things in turn will then be sold to, whoever is paying the money to obtain that information. And that information is going to be used for them to better strategize how they can market to you and the things that you may be looking at, that you may be following, things of that nature. The last one that I'll talk about is acceleration. And acceleration is designing the organization and setting up processes to respond more quickly to changes in the environment. So acceleration is pretty much that what the new millennials are looking for, right? It's something that is right now readily accessible. It happens almost instantaneously. So being able to change your prices or your designs, whatever it is, to mold it to the environment that it's in. We can kind of look back at some people and see how their lack of change kind of led them out of business. One of those examples would be Blockbuster. Blockbuster, they were doing really good for a long time and they didn't want to adapt and change with the environment. And Netflix, and Redbox began to figure out that, hey, we can do things digitally and not have to have people always coming into the store. They can go to like the nearest kiosk, or they can send in online. They can send something into us and we can send them something back. So, they were looking at new ways of marketing to people and how it fit into the environment as the environment began to change. And now we see that Netflix is really a beast in the marketing area as well. Redbox is still holding on, but they're not as big as Netflix has become. And Blockbuster is no longer around. I think there's like one store left, if I'm not mistaken. So these shifts in marketing practices are some of the things that one should be aware of and constantly thinking about as you work in the marketing aspect, especially in the holistic marketing organization. Now we're going to move into the organization of holistic marketing departments. Although departments may differ slightly from one to the next, sometimes they overlap. And what you see right here are the different sectors. You got functional organizations, you got geographic organizations, you got product or brand management organization, you have market management organization, and matrix management organization. So as you look at the chart there for functional organization, you see that the employees report to one person at the top, which is going to be the marketing vice president. When you look at the geographical organization, it's organized into geographical units or regions, and they all report to a central headquarter, which is the administrator to the core functions, like your planning and the marketing. But you see how it's broken down, though, the different levels or tiers, from salesperson to the district sales managers to zone managers to the regional manager back to the national sales manager. So there's a hierarchy still, in the sense of reporting, which is the same kind of sort of with functional. It's just that it's broken up into different regions, and that right there kind of helps you expand and be more specific to your target audience because of the location that you're focused in. The next slide is going to show the product and brand manager organization, and right here you see that the brand product manager, they pretty much they have to connect with a lot of people. There are many pieces when it comes to this aspect. Each piece is important and requires communication along with synchronization. And no matter how big or small, all personnel and team members, they must work together in order to have unity in a holistic marketing company or an event. And as you see here to the left with the product or brand management, you got manufacturing and distribution, you got your market research, you have legal, you have packaging, promotion services. There's just a lot of things that kind of tie into that. That one person is kind of like overseeing all of these things at one time. And so that's a lot of weight on one's shoulder to be in that position. And there's also the brand assessment management team, which is just a different way of working out with the brand. And so there's different models for it. The vertical product team is right there. You can see that. Then you have the triangular product team and the horizontal product team. So one thing to note is the PM is going to be the product manager that you see in all of them. The APM that you see in the vertical product team is going to be the associate product manager. The PA is going to be the product assistant. The R represents the market research. The C represents communication specialist. The S represents sales manager. D is distribution specialist. F is finance accounting specialist. And E is the engineer. So again, these are many different aspects that still all have to play their part on the team. Again, if you look at it, it's team. These are all teams, and these teams have to work together individually and come together as a unit in order to help the brand management team out, or even the product brand management. However you look at it, whether or not you have a brand product manager or you just have a product manager, and broken it down into different levels in that sense. One of the things that I didn't mention is that with the product or brand management organization, those are managed. They manage the development, marketing, and sale of a product or a set of products throughout the product life cycle. When you go into the market management, this is desirable because customers fall into different user groups with distinct buying preferences and practices, which means that it's easier for you to kind of find out what it is that they are looking for and help you when it comes to the market that you're that you're looking for and building your product to fit that market. And with the matrix management, companies that produce these are companies that produce many products for many markets that can employ both market and product managers. This is cool because it shows you the different levels that goes into not just management, but into the marketing aspect, the brand aspect, the market and the products. Like everything has a place. So one thing to note is that underneath the matrix management, you run into this thing called the think customer. And so two of the things that I really want to kind of hit on are the relationships with other departments when it comes to the holistic organization within the company, and building a creative marketing organization. So the relationships with other departments are some of the key notes are working together to satisfy customer needs and expectations, the persuasion rather than authority, company key processes over departmental organization, and providing positive customer experiences as the overarching goal. I think these are the things that, when it comes to relationships with other departments, they all have to work together to truly build a unity on what they're going to do with moving forward for the company and for the customers. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, you need customers. You got to have your customers, and becoming more customer driven, I think, is the way to success. And with building a creative marketing organization, you got to become more customer driven rather than product and sales driven. You got to be creative and stand out. You got to invigorate the team and create spaces for stimulating new creative ideas. And you also have to watch trends and be ready to capitalize on those trends. By becoming more customer driven rather than product and sales driven, I think the latter will come, because when you're customer driven and you're doing the things that the customer wants, then that will still help out with, developing those products, and those products will still sell because customers will still want to buy it because they'll feel in part of it. It goes back to the customer empowerment that we spoke about earlier in the slides. And retaining customers and bringing in new customers is almost always important for any organization. I mean, a company can only last as long as their customers. When the customers leave, so does the business, slowly but surely. This is why being a customer-driven organization is key. And this will be possible because it will all start internally by becoming a holistic marketing organization. Again, internally, getting everybody on the same page, all departments to work together to understand what the underlining message is, which should be being a customer-driven organization. Therefore, building your customers, and when you build your customers, as long as you allow them to feel like they have power, they will then, by word of mouth, spread the word about your company or your product. And as we've seen in today's society, along with even in past decades, that word of mouth is one of the biggest forms of publicity for any organization and product. Word of mouth is what keeps things going and what helps people stay on top, especially companies, because if you're doing well and other people know that you're doing well, you have a really good product, then they're going to continue to spread their word to help build on the product and the reputation. And it all stimulates from a holistic marketing organization, in my opinion.
Hello, everyone. My name is Faith Alexander. I will be discussing socially responsible marketing. There are benefits not just to customers, employees, communities, and environments, but also to a firm's shareholders. There are many reasons why investing in corporate social responsibility can be very helpful to firms. Companies need to differentiate themselves from their competitors. They can also build a good public image to offset any potential criticisms or legal actions that may arise. Corporate social responsibility also encourages employees, investors, and partners to be more motivated and loyal to their firms. Here is a list of top firms that participate in corporate social responsibilities. Companies such as Best Buy, Google, JetBlue, IKEA are all companies from different markets and industry that participate in social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility has three main aspects to it: proper legal behavior, ethical behavior, and social responsibility behavior. Legal behavior focuses on every employee knowing and observing the relevant laws of the company. This prevents legal backlash that a company may have in the future. One example of legal behavior is companies cannot use their competitors' technical or trade secrets through bribery or espionage. Ethical behavior focuses more on the moral principles of a company, such as bribery, theft of trade secrets, false or deceptive advertising, quality or safety defects, and other characteristics that may be considered immoral. It is very important for companies to have a written code of ethics, to build tradition of behavior on those ethics, and hold people responsible for following those guidelines. One example of ethical behavior in marketing is the thin line of acceptable marketing to children. Social responsibility behavior focuses on allowing consumers to be able to access companies' records on their social and environmental responsibility. This helps consumers to decide whether they want to invest in that company, work with that company, or even buy from that company. Social responsible business models shows innovative solutions and values in socially responsible way are most likely to succeed. Corporate social responsibility also goes into sustainability, which is the ability to meet humanity's needs without harming future generations, and greenwashing, which gives products appearance of being environmentally friendly without living up to that promise. As we all know, it is very expensive for companies or even within your own household to go green or to invest in green products. These products are more expensive because ingredients are costly and transport costs are higher for lower shipping volumes. Cause-related marketing links the firm's contributions toward a designated cause to customers engaging directly or indirectly in revenue-producing transactions with the firm. Cause-related marketing is part of corporate societal marketing. Corporate societal marketing deals with making decisions not only by consumers' wants, the company requirements, but society long-term interest. Cause-related marketing can improve social welfare, create differentiated brand positioning, build strong consumer bonds, enhance the company's public image, establish brand credibility, create a sense of community, and elicit engagement. U.S. consumers have a positive image, loyalty, and trust for companies that support a cause. For example, Macy's Wear Red Day in support of American Heart Association to draw attention to women with heart disease. Heart disease is more related to the male population and not much attention is focused on women with heart disease. When designing a cause program, Limiting to a single cause may limit pool of consumers that can transfer feeling from that cause to a firm. It is always better to participate and invest in two or more causes or as many causes in different areas to broaden your consumer base.
Hello, my name is Yumia Sanabria, and today I'll be talking about social marketing. Social marketing is used by a nonprofit or government organization for their cause, such as Say No to Drugs or Exercise More and Eat Better. Some notable global social marketing successes are a mass media campaign to promote oral rehydration therapy in Honduras, significantly decreasing deaths from diarrhea in kids under 5. Also, Population Communication Service created and promote two extremely popular songs in Latin America, Stop and When We Are Together, to help young adults learn about sexual responsibility. The National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institution successfully raised awareness in the U.S. about cholesterol and high blood pressure, which helped significantly reduce death. Save the Children. For 100 years, people have been saving children in the U.S. and around the world. A healthy start in life. The opportunity to learn and to protect children from harm. When crisis hit, usually these individuals are always among the first to respond and the last to leave. They do whatever it takes to save a child, transforming their lives and the future that we share. Every child deserves a future. Save the Children. Save the Children has a link down here I put. It's their website, and I also have another ad, just a short 2-minute ad on YouTube that I found that I thought would be very useful. Social marketing. Some possible social marketing program objectives: cognitive campaigns, action campaigns, behavioral campaigns, and value campaigns. Cognitive campaigns explain the nutritional values of different foods, demonstrate the importance of conservation. Action campaigns attract people from mass immunization, motivate people to say yes on certain issues, inspire people to donate blood, and motivate women to receive a pap smear test. Behavioral campaigns demotivate cigarette smoking, demotivate the use of hard drugs, demotivate excessive alcohol consumptions. And the last one is value campaigns. Alert different ideas or alert ideas about abortions. These are different campaigns that can be used by any nonprofit organization to promote their product. While social marketing is used for different tactics to achieve its goals, the planning process follows many of the same steps for traditional products and services. Some key success factors for changing behavior include: choose target market ready to respond, promote doable behavior in simple terms, explain the benefits in compelling terms, make it easy to adopt the behavior, develop attention grabbing messages, and use education, entertainment approach. Now, develop attention grabbing messages is an example that I put on the slide here. The message says, give a hand to the wildlife. As we see, the hand is painted as a zebra. This is a very good example of develop attention grabbing messages. World Wildlife Fund. The World Wildlife Fund, also known as WWF, is located in Washington, D.C., based a nonprofit with 1.2 million members in the United States and 5 million globally. Its annual budget does not allow for lavish marketing, so it relies primarily on creative, directed marketing to get their contributions. The organization sends about 36 million pieces of eco-friendly mail in the United States each year, and 65% of its member revenue comes from this process. It has award-winning website. Award-winning website. It is active on Facebook and Twitter and earns revenue through partnership with a host of firms including Avon, Disney, The Gap, and Build-A-Bear Workshop. Partnerships sometimes include joint marketing programs. Coca-Cola donated $2 million for a campaign to help create a safe area for polar bears in Canada and other Arctic regions. WWF also tackles important wildlife issues head on, as with its multimedia anti poaching campaign, which uses billboard print ads, public service announcements, and online posters with the tag Stop Wildlife Crime. It's dead serious. This is the social marketing planning process. Where are we? Where do we want to go? How will we get there? And how will we stay on course? Where are we? Choose program focus. Identify campaign purpose. Conduct an analysis of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, also known as a SWOT analysis. Review past and similar efforts. Where do we want to go? Select a target audience. Select objectives and goals. Analyze target audience and the competition. How will we get there? Product, price, distribution, and communication. With the product, you want to design the market offering, price, manage costs for behavior change, distribution, make the product available, communication, create messages and choose media. How will we stay on course? Develop a plan for evaluation and monitoring, establish budgets, and find funding resources, and complete an implementation plan. This is the process that nonprofit organizations will go through to establish their marketing techniques. And this is a video here that we can use, a YouTube video. And this video is also a video that Save the Children created as well. Thank you for your time.
Hello class, my name is Joshua Vunoff and I'm working on chapter 23, section 4, marketing implementation and control. If you're following along the slideshow, my slide is marketing implementation and control, slide 1 of 3. And you'll see the marketing implementation definition. And the definition is essentially it's a process that turns our marketing plan into action so accomplish whatever end state or objectives that we have. So some of the things we have at our disposal, we have software that allows to integrate our systems to make this easier on us. So we have Marketing Resource Management, or MRM software. These are usually web-based applications. They allow us to merge and integrate different management assets. So project management, campaign management, budget management, asset management, brand management. It allows us to integrate all of these together so that they work in unison or work in concert. So marketing implementation and control, slide 2 of 3. So what you guys are looking at here is a chart, basic characteristics of a great marketing company. And so the name says it all. So we're not looking at it through the lens of a good or decent marketing company. We're looking at it through the lens of a great marketing company. All right, and so we want to emulate this, and so we're looking at these characteristics for ourselves. All right, so a couple of the attributes or characteristics that stand out to me are essentially the company knows what it wants. All right, so again, we have a plan. We're going to put that plan into action to meet some sort of objective. And with that, we have the employees, they work to that end. All right, so looking at some of the center bullets there, good working relationship. That's another thing that stands out to me is we have good relationships across the enterprise, not just departments or compartmented fractions working relationship, but working together in unison in a concerted, synergistic effort to reach the end state or objectives for the company. All right, so marketing implementation and control, slide 3 of 3. So now we're looking at the control piece of it. So what is a control? It's basically a process that allows us to assess the effects of the activities that we have done. So whatever activities we've put into motion to reach our end state, how do we assess the effectiveness, and then we make necessary adjustments and changes. So to me, I kind of look at this as the controls are kind of like the bumpers in a bowling alley to keep the ball from falling in the gutter. So they're kind of our left and right limits, and they kind of keep us on the right path so we can get our ball from one end to the other to hit the pins. So we have different controls here. We have annual plan control, profitability control, efficiency control, and strategic control. We are going to focus more on strategic control in this presentation. And strategic control, it's a top-driven tool, and it provides the auditing mechanism and a framework that you guys will see at the end that allows us to get a holistic view and a really detailed view of the company itself. All right, so types of marketing control, slide 1 of 2. All right, so you guys should be looking at a chart with different types of marketing controls, the previously mentioned controls. So you see the top two there, annual plan control and profitability control. But in this chart, it expounds on the controls and it describes the responsibilities, whose responsibility each control is, the purposes of the controls, and then different approaches or techniques to use and matrices, if you will. So looking at the annual plan control, it's another top and middle management responsibility. And really, the whole annual plan control is to determine whether or not the company, based on the activities, has been able to achieve the results set out in the initial plan. And then you see the approaches there, different analysis and matrices that we use to determine that. Profitability control, so it's the marketing controller, and you also see the purpose of this control is to examine whether the company is making and losing money. All right, so we want to be profitable, and we do. All right, and here we're going to start looking at the activities that we're doing. Are they profitable? Are they bringing us money, or are we losing money by doing them? All right, and then you see some of the categories here and the approaches that we're going to look at when we're breaking that down even further. Next slide, we have types of control, marketing control, slide 2 of 2. All right, and so this is the remaining two controls. You have the efficiency control and the strategic control. All right, so efficiency control, the prime responsibility, you see the line and staff management, rather. So this is the other people, like the people actually working through all the problems, and then the marketing controller. And then the purpose of this control is, again, to find those efficiencies within the things that we're doing and either improve them, or if we're not efficient enough, omit, expand, or whatever the case may be to reach the efficiency level we're looking for. And then you see the differences. We're looking at the efficiencies of certain parts of the company. All right, and then strategic control, again, we're going to see more of strategic control. It's a top management driven responsibility, and really the purpose is to make sure that we're looking at and exploiting the best opportunities that we can for the company with respect to markets, products, and channels. So some of the approaches you see there, we're looking at the audit as kind of the big ticket item that we're going to discuss today. All right, so look at annual plan control. So I want to draw your attention over to the control process over here, the figure 23.5, the 4 blocks on the right. So you see we're setting a goal, and we talked about that from the beginning. So implementation is putting that goal or putting our plan into action to achieve that goal. All right, so we have a goal in mind. We figure out how we want to get there, or what is our measurement of success, or what is our performance measurement. So if I can draw your attention to the left-hand side, you see different metrics. So performance measurement could be a sales metric. Say we want to increase sales by 30%, and that's some sort of a tangible enumerated number that we can put on there for measurement. And then we have the diagnosis. Why is this happening? So if we're falling short, why are we falling short? What seems to be the problem that we keep falling short? And then a corrective action. What should we do about it? All right, so that's kind of where we start implementing those controls, is right around the time we diagnose that there's a problem, something's going on, and we got to get the ball back in the lane. All right, so the ball is going to hit that bumper, take that corrective action, and we get back on the right track. All right, and then you can see some of the other metrics that we could possibly use. Customer readiness to buy, customer metrics themselves, distribution and communication metrics. All right, next we have profitability control. Again, it's all about profit. So we're taking a look at the activities that we have, the different areas within the company, and we're trying to determine whether or not they make us money or if we're losing money. And then what do we do about it? So expand, reduce, do we eliminate products? Do we change our marketing activities? Do we go after smaller segments? Whatever the case may be. All right, so now we're looking at efficiency control. So suppose here that we are earning poor profits. So then we start looking at how do we find a more efficient way to manage different aspects of the people that are touch points for those profits, whether it be the sales force, advertising, the distribution center, what have you. So we want all those touch points that have to do with profits. We're looking at efficiencies and trying to implement controls to make sure that we're meeting our objective. All right, so strategic control, slide 1 of 2. All right, so again, the big ticket item is the marketing audit. All right, so there's different characteristics you see here: comprehensive, systematic, independent, and periodic. So these are different types of examinations that we can do, and basically they're all for the same purpose, but we want to determine problem areas, different opportunities, things like that, and we want to recommend a plan of action to improve our marketing performance. All right, so strategic control 2 of 2. So we're looking at the 4 characteristics here. So we have the comprehensive, which is just as it says. It covers all aspects of the company, and really it's more effective, and it's more effective at locating the real source of the problem. All right, so when we're starting to find deficiencies within the organization, we do a comprehensive, really deep dive, in-depth look at the company. We're going to glean more results than if we just do, looking at certain segments. Next, we have systematic. So really, that's taking a little bit more of a step back. We're looking mainly at the objectives and strategies of the company, systems in place, things like that. But it's kind of piecemealed. It's not a holistic approach. And then we have independent. So independent, probably not the favorite of the 4, because that's an outside entity providing that unbiased, objective look at the company. But again, they're coming in. It's an outside entity coming in to scrutinize the company. So it's probably not favored, but you're probably going to get the best results from it. And then we have periodic. So periodic is usually done as a result of some sort of failure. Maybe we're not hitting our sales metric or our sales target. So we do a periodic review in certain areas, and you'll see different components that go along with the audit in the next slide. But maybe these components or these areas are places we need to look in a periodic basis to determine where we're kind of falling short of meeting our goals. All right, so marketing audit components. All right, so again, this is a breakdown. You guys are going to see several slides, 7 to be factual, that break this down even further and give a comprehensive look, a really detailed view into the company based on these components here. All right, so these are the components, marketing audit. So as previously stated, so components of marketing audit, slide 1 of 7. As you can see here, it's big charts, and again, it's all about the audit. So we have the marketing environment, audit macro environment. So we're looking at the environment in which the people work, the demographics that we have within the company, the environment in which the company that exists within the company, technology in the company, so on and so forth. All right, components of marketing audit, slide 2 of 7. So you see a continuation. So one of the bullet points is cultural. So definitely a big ticket item when it comes to working with any company is the culture and the attitudes that they have toward the people, product, and the business themselves. All right, then we have the task environment, and so it's really just it's breaking down the different sections, right? And then basically looking at the markets, the customers, competitors, and trying to determine whether or not we're hitting the right markets, we're doing by our customers, looking at the competitors, how do we compete, who are the competitors, things of that nature. All right, marketing components of marketing audit 3 of 7. So again, it's a continuation from the previous slide. So you see looking at facilitators and marketing firms, and then some publics. All right, so who's represented by opportunities or what problems are represented by the company or for the company. Then we have part 2 is a marketing strategy audit. So this is looking at the overall strategy of the company, looking at the objectives and goals, looking at the strategy, mission, trying to determine if these are feasible, sustainable, and it's something that we can actually obtain. All right, components of marketing audit 4 of 7. So you see part 3, marketing organization. So here's where we start actually taking an objective look at the company, how it's organized, the structure, the efficiencies, and probably the biggest part of that would be probably block C there, the interface. So how do the different entities or areas work within the company? And then part 4, marketing systems audit. So this goes back to the web-based applications, all the systems that we have in place, help us integrate a lot of the information and analyses that we do. All right, components of marketing audit, slide 5 of 7. So continuation of the systems, so just different types of systems, whether it be marketing planning, marketing control, new product development. What are the systems in place? Are they efficient? And really, are they the right systems for us? Are they automated in such a way that it collects the data we want? Does it do certain analysis for us? Is it the right product that we're trying to use? Part 5, marketing productivity. So this starts getting into the profitability and then the cost effectiveness of everything that we're doing. All right, and then we look at 6, marketing function. So we start looking at the products, the pricing, the distribution of all the products that we have. And we start looking at, are these meeting our intent? Are these working to meet our end state and goal? And then components of marketing audit 7 of 7. Again, a continuation. So we're looking at communications and even the sales force. All right, and then last we have the marketing excellence review. So in reality, these are just ratings that you get based on your review. So you have, looking there in the middle, you have a poor review that could be something such as average product quality, all the way up through excellent, which is legendary. All right, so that's my time. Thank you guys for listening. I'm going to hand this off to Garrett to finish.
Hello class, my name is Garrett Crawford and I will be discussing the future of marketing as my part of the leader discussion for my team. I will go over the 10 deadly sins from the book. I will go as into the future as what to expect as far as marketing goes, and also the way forward that marketing firms and organizations need to go in the future to stay relevant. So first let me go ahead and discuss the marketing sins. Number 1 is the company is not sufficiently market focused and customer driven. So what that means is there are signs, there's evidence that there's poor identification of market segments, poor prioritization of those segments, and more importantly, where a lot of these companies fail is that there's no training program to create a customer culture, and there's no incentive to treat the customer especially well. So therefore, the organization is lacking in their understanding of the market and the customer culture. And there's no formal training plan to get them on track and to stay on track with what they're doing to recruit customers and also keep those loyal customers to maintain a steady customer. There are solutions to that. You just go ahead and you use more advanced segmentation techniques. Prioritize each segment, from 1 to 5, let's say, on most important to least important. And most importantly is to become customer conscientious and have your salesmen, or salespeople I should say, serve those customers and have that training program in place to make it more efficient and more effective. Number 2 on the list is the company does not fully understand its target customers. So there's no understanding of why the consumer is not buying the product that they once did, or why the competitor is outselling that organization, and high levels of customer returns. Solution would be consumer research, use more sophisticated analytical techniques, and also, again, data mining and just that consumer outreach is very, very important. Number 3, the company needs to better define and monitor its competitors. So the sign that they are going down this road is that the company is focusing only on near competitors who they consider their biggest rivals, instead of seeing who is off in the distance and who is kind of, becoming a new player in the market, and who has that new product that's really going to shape the way forward for that market. And there's no system for gathering that intelligence on your competition. Solution is to establish an office specifically designed for competitive intelligence to go ahead and analyze those competitors and what they're doing, how they are doing it, and what products that they're featuring or services. Another key tactic is to hire the competitors' people. Maybe what they are doing could, do well in their organization, and maybe that's what they need, is a fresh outlook to get on top of the other rivals. Number 4 is the company does not properly manage relationships with stakeholders. The signs of this are the employees and investors are unhappy, and therefore there's that constant, riff or, just tension at the workplace, in the boardroom. There's just never an agreement on where the company should go in the future or why things aren't working. There's a lot of blame going on. A solution to that would be to move from the zero-sum thinking to the positive-sum thinking, and do a better job of managing the employees and their relationships. That's a key fact that I'll talk down the line in, is on emotional intelligence, understanding how each individual works, how they behave, how they receive that criticism or even positive feedback, and that will go ahead and create that positive workplace culture that then will go ahead and in line with your distributors, your retailers, and your suppliers. Number 5 is the company is not good at finding new opportunities, and signs of that are that the company hasn't identified any new opportunities, in months or years. They're lagging behind their competition. Any new ideas that have been launched have failed for the most part. Solutions for that is just to set up a system for that constant stimulating of new ideas. Get in the boardroom, pitching new ideas, that really big collaborative thinking. Number 6 is the company's marketing planning process is deficient. Signs that an organization is, lagging or falling behind is that the marketing plan does not have the right components, and there's no way to estimate the financial implications of the different strategies, and there's no contingency plan based upon that. Solutions to combat that are establish a standard format including situational awareness, possible issues that may come up, strategies, tactics, and most importantly is that budget analysis. Where are we hemorrhaging money, or where are we doing really, really well, and we can maybe shift a few things around. That is the key factor. Number 7 is product and service policies need tightening. So some organizations or service organizations are offering too many products, losing money, and maybe they're giving away too many services, and at the same point there's poor cross-selling of products and services. To go ahead and find a solution for that is to just have a tracking system of what's doing well, what is not doing well in the market, those weak products or services, how are they going to be fixed, or should they be dropped altogether, and have different pricing for your services to give different packaging so there's more opportunities for the customers and have a wider selection. Number 8 is the company's brand building communication skills are weak. if there's not a brand being built yet, the target market specifically, does not know much about the company, and the brand is not distinctive. The company's budget maybe is going into the wrong places, and they haven't put it into that marketing platform that gets the name out there, that enriches the wide target audience. And a way to go ahead and fix that or alleviate some of the problems with that is to go ahead and improve that brand building strategy, measure those results, track them, and then shift money into the effective products, effective campaigns that are doing well, and then try to piggyback off of those. Number 9 is the company is not organized for effective and efficient marketing. The staff and the organization lack 21st century marketing skills, and the marketing and sales team is also in constant competition and at odds with the other departments, as they're not really working together. That organizational culture is not well-rounded, and they're all not playing on the same team and on the same page. A solution is to appoint those strong leaders in each department that work well together, that do not have any competition, and they want what is best for the organization. And this will improve the relationship between those marketing departments and those other outliers. And finally, number 10 is the company has not made maximum use of technology. Signs that this is occurring is there's evidence of minimal use of the internet, outdated systems, and no decision support models. They have no tracking. They're not using the up-to-date systems that your competitors are using. They're out of touch with the consumers on what they're using as far as digital media, social media platforms, and they haven't really gone full stream into the handheld device realm that many organizations have, such as Amazon, Google, Walmart, where it's just the click of a finger. Solutions would be to improve the systems, apply it to what is relevant in the market, and develop those formal marketing decision models and marketing dashboards. What to expect going forward into the future? Holistic marketing. It's not just going to be one concept. It's going to be a model that encompasses everything about the marketing process. It's going to be, digital media, limited print. It's not going to be traditional. It's going to be constantly changing with what is relevant for those consumers. With technology, the way that it's going, it's going to be a constant brainstorm of how an organization and a service organization can stay relevant in today's world. Marketing science, you can expect everything to be a science now, with data mining, finding out what that consumer's behavior is, their shopping habits, their buying habits. Is the consumer loyal to the organization? Do they constantly use the same services? It goes right in line with emotional intelligence, of what I will talk about in a little bit, of having an understanding of what makes that consumer tick, their tendencies. And then also precision marketing. Right now, the person wants to be immediately engaged in that advertisement. They want to be drawn in. They don't want to watch a long 30, 45-second video and have to wait till the last 10 seconds. They want to be immediately engaged, or else they're going to click on the next ad, click on the next article, swipe to the right. It needs to draw their attention, whether it be through words or pictures or video. It has to immediately grab their attention and pull them in, or else they're just going to lose their focus and click on to the next item. And finally is the way forward. Platforms. Social media is dominating how consumers view products, view services. They go by word of mouth through Facebook by putting a post out there, or on Twitter of looking for a specific product that can achieve this need or want, or a service that is needed, and they get immediate feedback from their friends. For one instance that many people use it is for weddings, photographers, venues, caterers. Who would you use in this area? Who has used this specific service? that is really what gets word of mouth out, and they have to understand and devote a specific team to monitoring social media, just not to answer questions, but to also look at the reviews and the feedback from their consumers. And that falls in line with the review sites. Again, it's going to be sitting back a little bit, seeing how maybe the product release went or how a specific service is going, and looking at what those consumers are saying to either modify that product or service, or go ahead and just let it be for even a little bit longer because it is doing well. Consumers are speaking highly of it, and it's getting a lot of attention and drawing even more business. Next is data. With the data mining consumer approach is all online for the most part. Print is almost outdated. TV is still doing well. They can really track the tendencies and the sites that people go on. Just for instance, you click on Amazon and you look at one product and it says other consumers have bought this or recently viewed items. Organizations are willing to pay a lot of money to track what is going on, to go ahead and shift where they need to market, shift where they need to cross-sell their products. So if they offer one product and then their other product is similar or can add to, for instance, a lawnmower, and then you go ahead and you have a leaf blower and you package that deal, and people are more likely to buy that versus one product here and then a product from another competitor. They want to see that bundled deal that make it worth their while. And then reactive versus proactive approach. So before with print and TV, you want to be proactive, you want to be ahead of the curve. But now with the review sites that I mentioned before, you can react to what is being said, the reviews, the word of mouth with social media. The marketing team can kind of hold back and wait and see what is being said to change how they're going to market or to improve upon what they put out as a service or their product. And then if it is doing well, they can just continue that name branding. A big one here, not only for the organization itself, but also the consumers, is emotional intelligence. Not only do these firms need to understand how that their employees behave, react within the workplace, how they interact with their coworkers, the firm also has to understand the mindset of the consumer, their behavior of buying, their tendencies to purchase from a specific organization for specific reasons. Is it because it is a trend? Is it because they are a loyal customer? They really can tailor their marketing approach and use the latest technology to find out exactly what that consumer needs, what that consumer wants. And my final point would be that context is the new advertisement. Gone are the days are long paragraphs reading about a specific advertisement. The individuals will read a lot into reviews, but they want to be drawn in immediately into why they should buy this product, why they should use this service. And they will either swipe right, click on our new site. They really need to have their attention drawn into that. And that is my final point here on the future of marketing. With the way that the world changes every day, we really don't understand what is going on, but we do have a good grasp of what we're going to encounter along the way. So thank you.